Good evening, everyone. As I told you, I would like to tell you a little bit more about one of my favorite books, which is Les Thanatonautes of Bernard Werber, a French author. I'm not sure there is a translation of this book in English, but it would be worth checking because this is a really famous author, and some of his bestsellers have been translated already, so maybe this one have also. This is part of a trilogy, but the three books are not really related to one another, so it's totally fine to only read one and not the others. This is the first of the trilogy, and to my opinion the very best one, and probably one of the best of this author as well, although it's not one of the most famous. So at the very beginning of this story, of this book, the president of France experiences a near-death experience. So he basically dies for a few minutes, and then he is revived by doctors. And the thing is, he's convinced that he saw something of what happens after death. And so he charges a few scientists, which are the heroes of the story, to investigate about that and to just check about what is after what there is after death. So these scientists, well, the main one, the hero, is Michael Pinson and his friend Raoul Razorback. So these two scientists will take prisoners, voluntary prisoners kind of, to make their experiments, which consist in injecting them lethal products to kill them basically for a few minutes and then resuscitate them. It does not always work actually. At the beginning of the book they fail many times, but so when it works they ask the prisoners to say what he saw. And actually at some point, just before the people tell them to stop, because at some point the population learns about these experiments and they are horrified because many people died and they wanted to stop. But just before they stop it, one prisoner admits he saw a... I don't really want to give away that's the big part of the story, but he saw something very specific that he calls a new continent. And so everything changes. People who were really against this experiment actually change, and many people begin to try to do it. And each country actually races for being the first one on that new continent. It's really considered a new territory to explore, territory after death. This is really risky because the more many people die actually, those who go too far and too fast. But as you go through the book, people go further and further in this new continent. There are some crazy stuff that Bernard Werber always does. For example, people start to advertise in the new continent. There are pirates in the new continent, and there are many phases that he calls Mach. There's Mach 1, Mach 2, Mach 3, and etc. And each one is kind of a test. For example, without giving away the order, there is the test of the personal fears. So one of them is just you will face your very intimate and deepest fears. The other is desire, physical desire, infinite knowledge, infinite boredom. There are really diverse in many different tests. And so at the end they learn the truth, kind of about death, the truth as Bernard Werber offers it. This author is really special in a way that he always likes to take a metaphysical or philosophical question, to take a theory about this question, kind of far-fetched theory, and he pushes it to the very maximum to almost make it ridiculous, but at the same time he uses many references and comparisons to to let us be able to really make a link between the book in our world and most of the time about the stupidity of humankind and the fact that we always do the same mistakes. This is actually the main subject of most of his books, the fact that humankind always does over and over the same mistakes. So really I advise you guys to read this and tell me what you think about it. Thank you and have a good night.